And we're live.
I think we're live. How are you, Dr. Carter?
I'm doing good, doing good. How are you, Mr. Carter?
Well, if I was any better, I don't know. It's a great day in America right now. I don't care what they say.
That's right. It is a great day. It's a great day to be alive. We're blessed to still be here on this planet and still, making it happen. So it's a wonderful thing. I'm trying to figure out how to share this thing.
Okay. Let's do the same.
All right. So I am sharing so we can let everybody know what we're doing out here.
I'm going to share it to my, newsfeed, I think? Yeah, newsfeed.
Yeah. So, hey, everyone, it is Motivational Monday. And as we get everything prepared, we just want to say hello. We decided we were going to do a different time and try to do noon versus 4 p.m., 4:30 p.m. when everyone's trying to get home trying to leave work and get home. So we'll see how this whole 12 o'clock works. But Stephen, let me know when you're ready to go, and we'll go from there. But looks like we have a few people that are jumping on with us. Thank you guys for coming in on this monumental Monday. We had a really, really crazy week last week. I don't think any of us really expected everything that happened on last week on the political front.
Right.
I guess we got to talk about what's going on, even though it's not really our topic. But we had some really transformative things that happened last week. Probably on the political front, the first thing was in Georgia, which has been historically red for a very, very long period of time. And there was a big runoff race that happened. I think that was on Monday or Tuesday. At any rate, Warnoff and Osgood, I think is the last name. Those two senators were voted in Georgia. And so now Georgia has officially become a blue state, which is a very, very historical thing that happened and completely unexpected. But it is what it is. As time goes and as we continue to live, things change. That's one thing that's constant is change, right, Stephen?
Absolutely. And I was listening to the news this morning. They were talking about how the change and the momentum that we've seen in Georgia is going to catch fire, and states like Texas and Florida are the next targets in terms of shifting, just based upon the changes in the ethnicity and the racial makeup of a lot of these border cities that have a very diverse population that comes in from whether or not it's Cuba or Mexico or Africa, any of these other countries that come in and try to take advantage of all the good things that are in America. It talks about why this has always been the land of the free and of opportunity and things that people come to America to take advantage of.
Absolutely. It's definitely, we're seeing a change in the times with, as you said, as demographics change, then our world is going to change and the United States is going to change. And of course, we don't, as far as voting is concerned, it's not necessarily based on racial background, gender, that sort of thing. Should be based on policies. But we do see that there are certain groups that typically vote one way or another. So, but this is definitely not about Democrats or Republicans. This is really about just talking about trending topics right now. And so the big one that happened was it seems like it was just yesterday, but it was just a few days ago. And the Electoral College, that was supposed to be typically a very, very just standard situation where they count the electoral votes and they had officially announced who's going to be our incoming or who is our incoming president, went completely awry. We had what people are now calling an insurrection or a sedition or even an attempt at a coup. All these fancy words when what started off to be a rally by President Trump and his administration it really, really got out of control really quickly. And I'm not sure that anyone was expecting for it to go the way it went, but it was devastating. It ended up with 5 people dead, many people injured, and a lot of people that are dealing with the aftermath. So a lot of arrests, a lot of we'll call it cancel culture. So a lot going on in regards to Trump. His voice is being pretty much shut down. Twitter has shut him down. Facebook has shut him down. Even Stripe, which is a credit card processing company, is no longer dealing with them. The PGA Tour actually canceled the scheduled PGA Championship that was coming up in 2022. So a lot of craziness. Even I think it was the university that gave him an honorary doctorate. They pulled it back from him, and that was a doctorate that was given to him a long time ago. So anyway, just crazy times that we deal in. And Steve, what are your thoughts on that whole thing?
You know, it's definitely interesting times, and I think that you know, there have always been key leaders in the history of the U.S., the history of the world, that have galvanized people and manipulated their thoughts and their behaviors to their own personal benefit. And you know, it's and again, we're trying not to be political, but I'm not, whether or not you're Democrat, Republican, Independent, I think that we can all agree that his charisma, if you will, the way that he's been able to take advantage of certain people's kind of misfortunes and maybe being overlooked or feeling like they've not had a voice, and been able to use that dynamic, those conversations to his advantage to push forward his own personal agenda in the name of pushing forward an agenda for others, right? And I think that part is unfortunate. You know, I think I find myself to be more of an independent. I think, Sterling, you're probably more of an independent as well. As business owners, to be honest, there are some policies that the Republicans stand for that I'm definitely full born and behind, from a social, economical standpoint, and the impact on communities of color and the unfortunate. I definitely am more on the Democratic side. But what I just want to do is see fairness across the board, and what we've seen with this insurrection and things of that nature is just the manipulation of people for your own personal gain, and that's my major issue.
I agree with you 100%, Stephen. It's just we're living in some crazy times. I want to send some shout outs to so many people that are chiming in. So hello to our cousin Catherine Heidelberg Jones and Simone from Langston. Hello, Simone. Hey, Janice, my Army buddy Janice Terry is here. She's watching. Aloha from Keith. Keith, our cousin who's in the military as well. Russell Triplet, frat brother, and Langston grad. Mr. Lawrence, hey, Mr. Lawrence is here. We gave a shout out to Mr. Lawrence not too long ago in one of our previous podcasts. And hey, Gigi Langston said shutting down 45. And then Jenna says it's not about Republican or Democrat. It's about right or wrong. People are forgetting to use the common sense guy gave them. Yes, the times are crazy. So I just wanted to say something about that from a military standpoint. And thank you for that, Janice and Keith.
Yeah.
That so many people out there that have dedicated their lives and they've given so much to our country. And
thank you for your service, by the way.
Right, Stephen and I, those who don't know, are both military veterans. I served 25 years in the military and retired with an honorable discharge as an officer, and served in several different deployments. We as military have always learned that we serve our country first. And this attack on the Capitol, the attack on our democracy and what we believe in, is absolutely, I don't even have the words for it. This is something that should never happen in the United States. And for all of my military and police and everyone that has served, understand the importance of that. It is not about serving a particular individual, or this is not, we are not in a dictatorship. This is not a demigod Hitler situation. We serve our country. And so if your views have pushed you to the point where you're no longer putting the country first and you're putting the individual first before everything else, then we have an issue, especially when there's been due process. And we've had over 60 different law cases that have been put out there. And it's even gone to the Supreme Court. And, you know, it was voted down by the Supreme Court. And out of that Supreme Court, 3 of the Supreme Justices that were on the Supreme Court were actually endorsed and appointed by the president. So it just doesn't make sense. And I don't know if we're in some kind of a false sense of reality or what's going on, but we're in a really, really crazy situation. And we're going way down the wormhole, as they say, Stephen, because I know we're supposed to talk about.
You just dig on in, Sterling. I see where you're going.
But I wanted to make that point to see all my military folks on here, and we really, I know they get it. We get it, how important it is to make sure that we remember what we put our lives on the line for, and we put our lives on the line for this country and not an individual. But yes. So going back to the comments, then we'll get started. We'll get started. So Janice said, let's talk about fairness across the board is unequal. Walter Miller says, what's up? Hey, Walt from Langston. James Vine says, I agree with Stephen with liking ideas from both parties, which is so true. First time watching, good information. We need more people to discuss this. So true, Kat. Hey. So let's jump into it. So the topic of the day is you are worthy.
Yes.
Despite everything that's going on right now in this world, you are worthy. You are absolutely where you're supposed to be. And you have to recognize that you are great, that you are amazing, that who you are is what God wanted you to be, and that you have to be willing and able and understand that you have to be able to step into your greatness if you want to succeed in life, and you want your abundant I guess favor and love and gifts that God has bestowed upon us. So we want to just really kind of talk about that and talk about what defines, how great we are, and understanding that you are worthy to step into that greatness. Stephen, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, Sterling, thanks for introducing such a critical topic right about now. I mean, the dialogue and the conversations that have been happening in our country for the last year or two, especially as it pertains to Black Lives Matter and a number of different things that have polarized the country, if you will, would make some think that they're not worthy, right? Even the entire intent of BLM, despite what the media may want to spin it to mean, is that basically that one race of people, that their lives matter, that they're equal, that they're worthy, right? Despite the fact that they may not look like you, or they may have they may not think the same way that you think, they're still worthy. They're still, viable. They're still, worth. And so unfortunately what happens with media and what's happening right now, you hear all of this over and over again, you would think that, maybe we don't matter. Maybe we're not worthy. And I think that's what Sterling and I are here to talk about, is to say that you are worthy and that you have value, and that if nothing else, the fact that what happened in Georgia highlights is that our value and what we do, what we're able to bring when we come together on one accord with a mission and execute that mission as according to a plan, we matter. We make a difference. And it's kind of like people talk about, you get hated the most. You have the most adversaries, the most enemies when you're about to do something magnificent and phenomenal, right? The higher up on the rung that you get, the more you're going to have people that look down on you and have, just have something negative to say. And that means that you're moving into your greatness, that you're moving into the place that you need to be. And so we're just here to say that everybody is worthy, whether or not you're African-American or whatever the case, you're worthy of greatness. Someone talked about, I'll jump off of this, but someone talked about the scarcity mindset or the poverty mindset that a lot of people of color have. And especially when you talk about in church, right? There's this idea, this mindset that we have to struggle, and that sacrifice and struggle is needed in order for you to be successful. You don't have to sacrifice or struggle or go through pain to be successful. And we should take that mindset out of ourselves to say that struggle leads to success. There is effort that leads to success, but the struggle and the pain doesn't have to lead there. So, sir, I'm sorry for going off on a tangent, but
great point. Great point, Dave. We're getting a little bit of a echo. But just wanted to say a couple of things, Stephen, and thank you for that. You're absolutely right. I think that if we were to listen to the naysayers, if we were to listen to the media, if we were to listen to what we're not capable of doing, I think that it would have stifled so many people. If you think about, well, let's just use Stephen and I for an example, and just showing our case because we happen to be African-American males in America, right? If you look at the stereotype for an African-American, for a black man in America, it really says that we should just be thugs, criminals, not educated, unable to make articulate a complete sentence, unable to talk in a correct grammatical way. But we decided a long time ago that we weren't going to let what everyone else's thoughts or the box that they want to put around us define us, that we wanted to do more, we wanted to be more. And so what that takes is really a change of your mindset, and it's a really decision and really just understanding and knowing your value. I mean, and Stephen, you brought up a good point. We don't have to necessarily sacrifice or go through something in order to get to a point. We've already been there, we've already done it. If you think about what we've done in this country, just as far as Americans being able to leave Europe and come and create our own United States of America, where everyone can have the ability of freedom of speech, the ability to start a business that they want to, or do whatever. I mean, it's just amazing that the work has already been done. If you think about from a standpoint of, we come from a legacy of kings and queens. If you think about Africa and where everyone comes from, because it's not just, African American or whatever, the first human was found in Africa. The history of Africa is rich, and what the amount of wealth and power and the pyramids that still people can't figure out how those were made or developed so many thousands of years ago with so much complexity and beauty. This is our history, and so the greatness has already been there. It's already there. You just have to step into your greatness and realize that you are who you should be, and anything that you want, you can accomplish. You just have to go for it and just go after it. A perfect example is Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison, for those who don't know, we hear about Thomas Edison and his famous experiment or discovery, which is the light bulb. And if it was not for Thomas Edison creating that, we wouldn't be where we are today in regards to light and that sort of thing. We all use light bulbs. Well, people don't talk about the fact that Thomas Edison actually had over 1,000 experiments that he performed throughout his life that were failures. And there was one experiment that actually changed the world, and it made him great. And what we have to understand is that you're going to fail sometimes. You may not win every single time. That does not mean that you're still not great. The greatness happens when you know that you're going to fail, when you have the courage to take those risks, and that you continue to push yourself for greatness until you get to that point. So walk in your greatness. You have to walk in your greatness. Stephen.
Yeah, absolutely. And Sterling mentioned that the analogy, if you will, of Thomas Edison, and we think of the same thing when it comes to business, right? So most successful business owners have failed in business multiple times before they've succeeded in business, right? So you'll look and you'll see a business owner and think, oh my God, he's just an overnight success, and Look at all the great things that business owners been able to achieve. In most cases, they probably had 3 or 4 or 5 or multiple failed business ideas before they had that one successful business idea. And we always talk about this. The key to failure is making sure that you understand what did go well and what went wrong, so that you ensure that you don't repeat the things that you failed at, and you do repeat the things that you're really good at. And eventually, with all of those losses and the lessons learned that you develop from those losses, will develop a mindset, a winning mindset, that every time that you go out the gate, you're now starting to win every time, because you understand what failure looks like and how to avoid that going forward. I think that was all I wanted to add on to that, Sterling.
Good stuff, Stephen. So a couple of people just wanted to send shout outs to Melvin Gaines. Hey, Melvin from Langston. He put hashtag Stacey Abrams, who was instrumental in pushing the vote and getting people out to vote. And
I love it. Hey, Sterling, by the way, I love it. I don't know if everybody saw the meme of Stacey Abrams when they put up there, this is what I bet looks like if you put it. It had a picture, and it had a picture of Stacey with this look this look that she had on her face, like, I bet. it was kind of quite funny. So anyway, Sterling, I'm sure those that have seen the meme can relate. So go ahead.
So RJ Jenkins with the 100, our 100 brother says, so true. Horton says, yes, Pastor. Let's see. Tanisha says, the idea of not working or not knowing self-worth is, in my opinion, stemmed from unresolved traumas, a lot of which in the African American culture came from fear of and being overprotective. The challenge is to recognize the traumas, heal from them. The healing and self-care process alone will increase your self-worth and transform. It sounds like we need to have Tanisha on one of our podcasts and have an interviewer, because she went deep on us. Thank you for that, Tanisha. And Janice said, yes, step into your greatness. We are kings and queens. We are worthy, and we absolutely are worthy. And so it's something. It's a mindset. It's something that you have to know and recognize. Then you have to just walk in your greatness. And when you know that you are worthy, and you know that you are magnificently made, then it shines in everything that you do. And people want to be around you. They want to work with you because they know that there's something special about you. And it's really not anything special more than understanding that you are special, because each and every one of us are. So as we come to a close, because we're going to make this a short podcast today. It's noon, and we got to get back to work and all that kind of good stuff. But just remember that you are worthy. You are great. You come from the backs of great people. All of us do. God has made us to be amazing with just the way we are. And you have to take risk. If you want to succeed in life, you have to be willing to fail a few times. You're going to fail a few times. That's okay. That's actually part of it. Actually, it just makes the greatness, makes the success just even that much more sweeter. And just walk in your greatness. You've arrived. You're here. Let's make it a great day. Anything else, Stephen, before we close?
No, I think you've summed it up pretty well. I don't know if I can top that. We appreciate you guys continuing to join on. We definitely have different topics every week, and some will be a little dicier, some will not, but we encourage you guys to continue to join on, and we appreciate your participation and your comments. That always makes the conversation better.
Absolutely. Until next Monday, everyone have a great week.
See you.
Bye-bye.